Bum bum bum, Adrian Jensen answering questions from reddit.com/r/After Effects. My question for today comes from Donald Gaming. Have an upvote, buddy. He's asking how we can recreate this transition in After Effects. And you're in luck because this just so happens to be pretty easy. Here in After Effects, I have two just random pieces of footage. So what did I choose? I got some pretty flowers here and a beautiful serene river scene. So what we're gonna do is let's just start with this first piece of footage here, the beautiful flowers. I'm going to zoom in so I can see my frames a bit better. Let's move back maybe 5 frames. I'm going to make this transition happen over 10 frames, I think. So on this layer, I'm going to apply a shift channels effect. And let's see what the order is. So in the example, it looks like the red channel is the one that's on the bottom, and then the green, and then the blue. So I'm going to follow the same rules. So on my shift channels, I'm going to tell it to take red from red, and then I'm going to turn the green and the blue off. Then I will duplicate that layer, Control D, and on the shift channels, I will turn my green back on, but turn the red off. And then I'll duplicate it one more again and turn my blue back on and my green off. And then I will change all 3 of these to an add transfer mode. And now what that has done is it's changed it back to exactly what it looked like before we even started. But if I start shifting these images over, you'll see we start getting a cool chromatic aberration effect. So that's just the simplest way of how you make a chromatic aberration effect. But that's not what we're trying to do right now, so let me just reset those. And I want to go ahead and change these all 3 to 3D layers. And I'm going to set a keyframe for the Y rotation and a keyframe for the position on all of those. And I'm going to come up to my cut point, maybe 1 frame earlier so I can actually see it. And I'm going to change my Y rotation on all of those to -90. Okay, so that gives us our 3D spin. And then to get that separation, I'm going to, on this frame where each of these are at -90, I'm going to take the bottom one, which is the red one, and I'm just going to move that over. And then I'm going to take this top one and move that over. That gives us our separation. In the example, there's actually a lot more separation than this. I personally am just not a fan of that look, so that's why I'm keeping it minimal. Although, if I really wanted to, I can move my blue way over here and my red way over here, and it would work just the same. All right, and now on my next layer, I'm going to duplicate that twice as well, and I'm also going to use the shift channels to separate out the colors. So my first one at the bottom is going to be red, followed by green, followed by blue. And of course, I will make those into add transfer modes as well. So on these layers, what we want to do is the opposite. So I'm going to move forward 5 frames, and I'll set my keyframes there for the position and for the Y rotation on all those layers. And now I will come back to my cut point, and I'll rotate those all on the Y axis by -90 degrees, which will make them disappear. And then of course the red one I will move back, and the blue one I'll move to the right. And now on these bottom 3 layers, I'm just going to grab all those ending keyframes and move them forward 1 so that they're matching the keyframes of the layers above them. So our cut point's right in the middle. And then on those bottom 3 layers, I'm going to highlight all of the first keyframes and right click them and select Keyframe Assistant Easy Ease. And I'll do the same on the last keyframes of the other layers. And that will make this so that this animation eases in and out. And then in my opinion, chromatic aberration always looks great with a little bit of blur. So I'm just going to activate the motion blur for those layers. And there's our transition. Ba-doo-doo-doo, Adrian Jensen just answered your question. Now you have to like and subscribe.